Beware of insurance scams. Exactly what do I mean by that? Well, let me tell you what. Over the last year of us working on our fixer-upper home, we have been told a ton of things over that year, and we jumped through every single hoop that we were asked to jump through. And in the end, we still had a bit of a battle trying to get insurance on our home. You're being lied to. Basically, what I mean by that is we talked to a number of insurance agents from different insurance agencies, and everybody told us something different. We found somebody that we thought was super reputable. He seemed incredibly nice, told us everything we wanted to hear. We had the policy information, so we were covered the way that we wanted to be covered. Just days after we approved the policy so that we could sign the policy and give them money for our insurance, the price went up $1,000. And obviously you're going to notice that the price goes up $1,000. And I said to him, I said, how could this be? You quoted us this, and yet our policy is now $1,000 more in the same week. And so he spewed off some BS information about, oh, this reason and that reason. The only thing I can honestly figure is he probably just wanted to screw over somebody who was out of state insuring a house that was in Florida. It was our fixer-upper that we purchased in Florida, but apparently he just thought, oh, these stupid people from out of state, they don't know anything. And he just decided to take advantage of us. There's zero other explanation because it was within the same week that he quoted us one price and then told us a different price the same exact week when we went to write the check. So there are scammers out there. They do not have your best interest in mind. Keep that in mind. You are your best advocate. You are the only person that can ask all those questions and take down notes and tell them exactly what it is that you're looking for and agree upon a price that is suitable for your budget. But at the same time, you are the only one that can say yes or no to that agent. Shop around, because in the process of us shopping around, it took us a long time before we finally found an agent that was reputable, that told us the truth, that kept their word on the dollar amount and the coverage, that told us we wanted this type of coverage, we didn't want this type of coverage. We actually had one agent tell us that we did not need wind coverage on our insurance for our homeowner policy. I said, we are in the state of Florida. How could we not need wind coverage? Doesn't that mean that we won't be insured for hurricanes or tornadoes? And they said, well, So in other words, they were trying to screw us over. They were never going to lose a night's sleep if we got screwed over on an insurance policy for our home. Insurance on your home is your number one biggest investment you will ever make in your life. And we wanted to protect it, obviously. And this insurance agent could care less if we had insurance on our home in Florida. And if you don't have wind insurance and you're in Hurricane Alley and Tornado Alley, no, I can't even imagine what they were thinking other than they just didn't give a damn about us and it didn't really matter to them. So you've got to watch your back. There are agents out there that are very scammy. And of course, we currently live in a smaller community where everybody knows everybody. So moving to Florida into a metropolitan area that is massive, they don't care if they screw you over. And I'm not saying that about every single person. Obviously, that's not the case. There are a lot of very reputable business people out there, but there's also a lot of them that really don't care about you. So you have to protect yourself and understand that when you're talking to an insurance agent, you're being lied to. Get answers from your insurance agent before you purchase that home. Don't go into it blind, especially if you're in a state like Florida, because the prices down there are so massive. All the prices down there are massive, and we're not even along the coast. But it really doesn't matter. The prices for insurance is so high that I was asking my neighbors, what do you do about insurance? And there's a lot of them, they self-insure. To me, that seems like financial suicide, to self-insure your home, your biggest investment you will ever make, and they can't afford insurance because agents around the area are not reputable. Thank God we found a reputable agent. However, people that self-insure, that's just the scariest thing ever to me. I can't even imagine. I don't want to walk down that path and cross my fingers every time a hurricane starts along the coast. I don't want that kind of stress. It was stressful enough last year. We bought our property as a fixer-upper, and it was not insurable at the time because we could not pass a 4-point inspection. So there was a lot of things that we had to do in order to make sure that that property would pass a 4-point inspection. All of the things that you would think about: electrical, plumbing, heating and cooling, the roof structure. And typically in Florida, they want permits as to when everything was done. But the homeowner that we bought the property from, she is now in a nursing home. So she did not have copies of anything, obviously. It's not like we could go to her and say, hey, do you have a copy? She's not going to have anything. So they had to look up through either the county or the city, and I don't know which, but there was no record of when these things were done. So we had to basically start from scratch on everything in order to get things. And when you don't have records of when the improvements are done, then the insurance agent told us, okay, well, after you get all these improvements done, then we need to have a 4-point inspection done on the home in order to make sure it is insurable. Basically, they're trying to protect their investment too. They don't want a raging POS that, I'm trying to pretend like it's this fabulous place. So they want to make sure that they protect themselves before they protect me. So we had the 4-point inspection done, and even after having the 4-point inspection done, and they knew that we did not have the prior information, and they knew our situation. But even so, it was turned down the first time through underwriting. So I said, but this was what you guys asked us to do. We hired somebody, we paid the money, we did all of the things that you said. We have an inspection to prove that all of these things were done. So what is the problem? So they basically had to send it through underwriting again in order for it to get passed. So it was a very lengthy process from the time that we actually found a reputable insurance agent through a reputable insurance agency. It was about 5 months. So we have been without insurance on our home in Florida for over a year. And to me, that is just scary. When we are in Hurricane Alley, and of course, Helene went right through the center of the state last year. So when you have a hurricane go through the center of the state, and all you can do is cross your fingers, that's pretty scary. We had just purchased the home prior to the hurricanes coming through, and there was nothing we could do. We were just sitting ducks. Thankfully, we were spared. But that being said, I never wanted to go through that again because that was a very scary problem. So I wanted to make sure that we had good homeowners insurance so that we were protected from any sort of problems that we might actually have in the future. But we had insurance agents tell us, oh, you didn't need the wind insurance. BS. Protect yourself, protect yourself. That insurance agent does not care about you. They care about their pocket. And once again, not all insurance agents are that way, but you better assume that they are because you're the only one who can protect yourself from the devil. Did you know that if you are financing your home, that you have to have insurance? And with all the hoops that we had to jump through, we couldn't have financed our home. We could not have gotten our home because obviously the bank wants to know that their investment is protected. So they want to make sure that you have insurance, but our home was not insurable. So therefore, we could not have financed it until after everything was done, which is wild to me. But yeah, so months and months, over a year before we ever got any insurance on our property. And it took us 5 months after we had the inspection done before we were actually approved. Now, our home is a mobile home or a manufactured home. It is a double wide in a 55 plus gated community, and we absolutely love it. But we did not know that there was age restrictions on there until kind of later in the game. But we found out that you cannot get insurance on a mobile home unless it's newer than 1978. Or can you? Actually, we found out that you can get insurance on a mobile home that is older than 1978 as long as you have proof that all of the things that we talked about, the plumbing, the heating and cooling, the electrical, the roof, They want to make sure as long as that 4-point inspection passes and says that their investment is protected, then you can go ahead and get insurance on the property that is older than 1978. However, you will pay an additional fee for a property that is older than 1978. Don't necessarily believe what you're told. I know that's kind of negative, but you have to protect yourself. We talked to multiple agents and we only found one person that was honest with us. So that doesn't say a whole lot good for the insurance areas around our place in the Florida area. And they were not all from our town, but they were insurance agencies that would insure Florida properties. And of course, you have to go through special insurance if you are a mobile home or manufactured home. However, we had more than one agent actually try to screw us over and lie to us and take advantage of us financially. And it was very disturbing. So make sure that you protect yourself. Write down all your questions. Don't believe what you're told, and make sure it's in writing. So the bottom line is, make sure that your insurance policy covers everything that you truly need to have covered. In our case, we live in Florida and it's a hurricane state, so we needed wind protection. We needed hurricane and tornado and water. And flooding is different than water. You have to ask your insurance agent if you need flood insurance. And in our case, we are in a higher elevation, so we didn't need that. And so we were lucky about that, and we're not close to the coast. So we didn't need flood insurance, but we needed water insurance. And of course, all those things also go in addition to things like fire and break-ins and just your normal things that you might actually file an insurance claim on. But we made a list and made sure, and our insurance agent that we found that was reputable actually told us, oh, I think that you probably need to have this on there, you need this on there, and these are the things that we're going to insure. And then also they insured for obviously the property that's inside of the mobile home as well. But just make sure that you protect yourself. That insurance agent isn't necessarily there to protect you. They're there for the bottom line, and that is their paycheck. In a lot of cases, you will never ever meet or see that agent. Do you honestly think they're going to lose sleep if they screw you over? No. So please be careful. Beware. There are scammers out there, and insurance is an easy way for people to scam you because it's so complex that the average person doesn't necessarily understand it. It's not my line of business, so I rely on somebody who does it for a living. And unfortunately, I had to second guess everything that they said because we found multiple agents that basically wanted to screw us over. So you have to be your own advocate and make sure that you get everything that you want, and don't believe everything you're being told because you might be being lied to. If you would please give us a like, it would help others find our video so that they can get information that they might need and avoid problems from an insurance agent who wants to scam them. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new to this channel, please hit that like and subscribe and ring bell notifications so you don't miss out on the latest and greatest. Also, please don't forget to check out some of our other great videos we have on the parks, the rides, resorts, resort rooms, Skyliner rides, day trips, car shows, outdoor pizza oven videos, Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, and Disney World. Thank you so much for watching.